Welcome to MWEB's Entrepreneur Zone. Today I've got Cynthia from MAMKHIZE Ubuntu Tours. Welcome, Cynthia.
Thank you very much.
Tell us a little bit more about your company.
I do tours around Cape Town typically. I can go as far as the Garden Route. I've been up the Garden Route once, but generally around Cape Town.
And the peninsula and that area?
Around the peninsula, mainly the peninsula, in town, waterfront. And if I go to the township, there's another good friend of mine who knows the township like the back of his hand. So I tag him along.
And how long have you been doing this?
Just this is the 4th year.
And what inspired you to get involved with this business?
When I moved to Cape Town in 1990, the place just blew my mind. And whenever I got visitors from upcountry, I always showed them around. So eventually, after 20 odd years, I thought, why don't I make this a business? So after going around with a screwdriver, fixing computers where I used to work, I decided to throw in the towel and just went for this. And I've never been so happy.
And it's a business that's all about people. How do you make sure that your customers have a fantastic experience?
I just go with the flow, and the minute I meet a customer, they become my friend. And I treat them as if I've known them for ages.
And how do you go about marketing yourself? So, I mean, you started 4 years ago. How did you get your name out there?
Word of mouth, actually. It has been word of mouth because, okay, I've got a website and business cards and everything, but I've never had business from any of those. It's just word of mouth. You know, somebody like you tell me about your friends who tell their friends and so on and so forth. So that's how it works for me. And I think that's cool.
And it's quite a change going from dealing with computers to dealing with people. How did you make that adjustment?
Very easily. Because I'm generally a people's person. I just love being with people all the time. So it was no sweat. It was not a problem at all.
One of the difficulties is that people are on their holidays. They have quite high expectations. How do you manage when one of your clients isn't necessarily enjoying the tour or wasn't happy with some aspect of it?
I've not yet had that problem, thank goodness. You know, I haven't had that problem. If I usually, you know, I don't have, okay, let me put it this way, I don't have time constraints. So there's no way they can say they did not like whatever because I gave them time to throw stones into the ocean for 2 hours instead of 20 minutes, for example. So I pick you up and I drop you off later.
Where are your clients from?
All over the world and locally as well.
What do you think it is about Cape Town that draws these people?
I think the scenery. I think the scenery as well as the people and just the vibe, if I can call it that. The vibe is different.
Cynthia, what you bring that's different to your tours is really around your personality and how you treat your customers. Tell us about a typical tour and how you engage with your clients.
Okay, a couple I picked up about 2 weeks ago. They just come in from Australia. So I picked them up from the guest house they were staying at, which was just around the corner from my place. And we're going to do the wine route. So as we're going towards Muizenberg, I thought, this is such a beautiful day and there's still a lot of time. So I diverted and took them to Simonstown first, just to see, you know, the boats and everything and all that. So as I was saying earlier, it's not, my tours are not fixed. Anything can go at any time. So we did that, and then we went on the wine route. They went for a bit of wine tasting, and as we approached Franschhoek for lunch, I diverted and took them to the Victor Verster prison because they wanted to see the statue of Nelson Mandela. So we did all those diversions, and that blew their mind. I mean, they just loved it. And we went Franschhoek for about 3-4 hours for the whole afternoon after lunch.
So it's very much you understand what your clients are looking for.
Luckily, luckily. It somehow just works up. I meet them and we just click.
And in terms of the ongoing relationship with these clients, because it's been word of mouth, do you keep in contact with them? Do you try and build that relationship?
Yes, I keep in contact with them. You know, good old Facebook works. It does wonders. So I'm still in touch with most of my clients. Okay,
and you use that as a marketing channel?
Yes, and they also, some of them have also sent me their people, you know, their friends, after they've been here in Cape Town. So it works out quite nicely.
And Cape Town is a tourist hub, and there are a lot of tourist organisations that you can join. Have you used any of those to try and grow your business?
Yes, but it didn't work in the sense that it was more fixed, it was time fixed. Whereas my philosophy is, I'll pick you up and I'll drop you off later. It won't be like 2 o'clock, we're going to eat. Okay, 2:30, digest your food and let's go, you know. So that's the only difference, because the other organizations are sort of time specific, and mine, I'm not. I'm not time specific. I mean, I've gone out with people till about 10 o'clock at night, having dinner elsewhere and all that. So I'm flexible in that way. So I would call myself a travel companion, as opposed to a tour guide, coming to think of it.
A companion that knows about the area. How do you keep up to date with the history and what's going on?
Interested. I keep, the papers, the web, information out there. Interesting enough, most of the people I get just want to see the place, and I'll tell them bits and pieces here about the history and all that, but they're more about mingling with the people and just seeing what Cape Town is all about. So I do the scenic view, tours and all that. And when I take them to the township with my colleague, we also take them to a home where they'll have, a home-cooked meal and things like that. So I make it a home away from home, so to speak.
It's also, tourism is a seasonal business. How do you manage for the slow periods over the winter?
That's when I do a lot of computer training.
So you've diversified?
Yeah, I diversify,
You're talking about the township tours and that. Do you think that there's a good opportunity for tourism to be a job creator?
Oh yes, I do think so. Oh yes, absolutely. In terms of maybe eating, traditional foods and everything. Like I said, I took a couple to a place where this person cooked a traditional meal for them. So it would be in terms of that, as an example.
Cynthia, obviously the guiding part and the interacting with people is the exciting bit, but part of it, of your type of business, is a lot of administration and paperwork and rules and regulations. What have you had to manage there?
I've managed it myself. I've managed everything myself. I'm my only boss. Maybe I should hire somebody in the future, but yeah, I've been managing it myself. Yeah, no problem.
And are they small tours that you generally do?
Yeah, small tours from one above. And if there's a huge, if it's a huge group, I've had a group of 10 people, then I'd work with another colleague of mine who's got a kumbi.
Cynthia, you've been doing this for 4 years. What's next for you?
Wow. Okay. Something in the hospitality industries still, because I like the hospitality industry. I should have done this long ago, but I won't go down that way, Yeah, so that's next.
That brings us on to the rapid fire questions. What's the best advice you've ever received?
Get out of the rut and just do it.
And your best moment as an entrepreneur?
Meeting new faces every time I get a new business.
And your biggest mistake?
Not doing this long time ago.
And what quality do you look for in people you work with?
Oh, they have to be open-minded, flexible, a sense of humor, and just being themselves.
What quality does an entrepreneur need to succeed?
They have to be driven and be 100% positive.
What inspires you as a small business owner?
The challenge. And especially the challenge in the sense that I'm doing it for me.
What would you do differently?
Maybe start, as I said, I should have done it earlier, like 20 odd years ago.
What makes South Africa a great place to be a small business owner?
The people and the vibe.
What keeps you awake at night?
Coffee.
And what gets you going in the morning?
The challenges I get every day.
Cynthia, thank you very much.
You're most welcome. And do join me on one of my tours.
Thank you, I'll do that. And thank you. We look forward to the coming weeks. We will bring you further South African entrepreneurs. I'm Paul Hobden. Thank you and goodbye.